Hey there. So I figured, I used to do solo episodes all the time, if you remember, for the podcast, and it got to be a little bit too much. But I wanted to bring it back for the month of March because I feel like, International Women's Day, lots of good stuff. So for the month of March, I am going to be dropping some bonus episodes on Thursdays. And then also the videos on social media for you to watch. So, again, if I have not had the pleasure of meeting you all, I'm the host of this show, Michelle Mercier of michelleamercier.com. Please head over there to learn more about me. So on today's mini episode, I want to talk about fear and uncertainty. I know. It's one of those things that I feel like, I don't know about you, but I'm doom scrolling. I've had a habit of doom scrolling lately where I'm just constantly, finding myself at midnight scrolling through Twitter, reading all sorts of things that maybe my mind doesn't need to read right before bed. So a couple of points about to help you with the fear and uncertainty that, you may be dealing with. And this, could be in regards to the Ukraine stuff, could be in regards to any part in your life. But, the first thing when it comes to that is that, there's this collective fear and uncertainty, but you have to admit that it's there. I think that's the first thing that people forget about, right? Maybe if we don't look at it, or maybe if we just go right to normalizing it and we're just so used to seeing the graphic images, or maybe we are just so, used to being in just constant change. We don't need to admit it. We don't need to talk about it. We'll just roll with the punches. No. Number one, admit that it's a thing. Admit it's there to yourself. Number two, name it. Name it. Oh my gosh. So, that could look like, I'm scared because, or I'm experiencing anxiety because, or, oh my goodness, I am in a complete anxiety spiral right now, doom scrolling at midnight, whatever it may be. Because what can happen from there is once you admit it and you name it, then you can move forward with, diffusing the hold that it has on you. Now, so here's a great example. So for me, it was making me more and more anxious to be scrolling and reading and consuming. I'm a big consumer of information in general. So when things are hard or when there's an increase in adversity in the world, I really need to be careful because I will consume and then I will get myself an anxiety spiral pretty damn quickly. So instead of that, once I admitted that it was becoming a problem, then I named it and said, hey, this is really causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of increased fear. Then I could put some parameters on it. And what that looks like for me, at least, and it could look like for you, is that I'm only allowed myself on social media 10 minutes at a time. And those times only occur 2 to 3 times a day at max. That's just a good rule for social media in general. But for me, especially when the stakes get upped, when the fear and uncertainty is increased, that is a parameter that I've now put in place for myself. So again, you want to admit it, you want to acknowledge it, and then you can start to do the work to heal it or to manage it and, not let it control your life. All right, that's what I have for today. So if you are listening to this on the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, download, rate, and review. And if you're watching the video, thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, tell a friend about this because who couldn't use a little more resilience in their life, right? See you later.